Well, hello. Good morning. I'm Ryan. Welcome back to Solo Homesteader channel. I have a property here called All Mine Ranch, which is 22 acres here in Cochise County at the Arizona-Mexico border, where I am building an off-grid homestead single-handedly. That's why it's called Solo Homesteader. Before we get into today's video, I just want to share and be super brutally honest with you guys that I'm struggling with YouTube. I'm struggling with the continuing of YouTube. And the best way I can say that is to remind you to not take your favorite YouTubers for granted. The vast majority of people who are doing YouTube don't make a dime. Most of us lose money on it. We put in time and effort to put content out there. And if you're not showing the love in the form of whatever, subscriptions, likes, and comments, most of all, don't be surprised if your favorite YouTubers go away. Shit, I just moved too fast and put myself into atrial fibrillation. My water bucket, I'm doing laundry over here. My water bucket started to overflow, so I jumped over there to shut off the water. And now I'm in AFib and lightheaded and need to lay down. Shit. Okay, you get the idea. If you don't like, subscribe, or share, if these videos suddenly stop, don't be surprised, because I'm at that point where I'm frustrated. I feel like I'm shouting into a void. I'm feeling unappreciated. I feel like no one's watching. And I don't know why I do it anymore. So I'm just going to put that out there at the start of the video. All right, it's about an hour and a half later. I was in AFib for about an hour and 20 minutes. If you don't know what AFib is, it's an irregular heartbeat, and it feels, for me, very powerful. It feels like your heart is gone to anarchy. Your beat is anarchy. No rhyme, no rhythm, it's lurching, it's jerking out of your chest, you can't breathe, you have no circulation, you don't get circulation in your brain very well, so you get lightheaded, your jaw aches, and it feels like somebody's sitting on your chest, and it feels like the little alien fetus from the Alien movie is about to lurch out of your chest. It absolutely sucks, but I've been dealing with it since I was 25 was when I had the first symptom of it. Didn't know what it was, didn't get it treated or looked at. And then I had a first episode probably around the age of 31, and I'm 53 now. So I've been dealing with it actively for 22 years, and there's not much I can do other than take medication and lay down and try to pretend it's not happening, or maybe I should say detach from it and try to let my mind and my attitude be independent of the pure fucking chaos that's happening in my chest. And it's not easy. And then just wait for it to go away. And it does usually. Oftentimes within minutes, sometimes it takes an hour or two, and sometimes it takes an entire day, and the whole day is shot, and all I can do is lay down. But it is what it is. I don't know why I have it. Don't know if I'm going to be dealing with it till the day I die. I suspect the answer is yes. And yes, I've been to all the specialists, cardiologists, and AFib is atrial fibrillation is just a thing that exists for about 5% of the population, and they can't tell why I started getting it so young. Otherwise in great health. So it's a weird thing. One other thing to mention real fast is I'm soaking these bottles in water. These are the dirty old bottles that I keep finding on my land. There's not too many more to be found unless they're really buried. I've got 5 complete bottles here. I think this is an old 7-Up thing from the 70s or 80s. That is a Heinz ketchup bottle from the 70s or 80s. A very small old Coca-Cola bottle. This could have been mustard, or I think it might also be a Heinz bottle, mustard or ketchup, but it's pretty small compared to some of the others. And this one, I don't know, but they're dirty and both inside and out. They've been rattling around for quite a while on my land, or in my possession, because I found them on the land. So I decided to soak them to get some of the dirt off so I can just get a better look at them. And I'm just going to hang on to all this weird stuff that I'm finding on my land, and just going to eventually have a shelf or a corner or a windowsill in my workshop and in my house, where I just have random things. So when I have guests, I can show them some of the cool rocks and cool things that I just, took off the land, or you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so we'll see how these clean up here in a couple hours. So it turns out my hole is in the wrong place. It needs to be about another foot this way. So I'm having to redo the footer, but I only have so much cement, so I need to sort of just move this over to fill the hole that I don't need. Good times, right? Sorry about the lighting. Nothing I can do about that. Half in, half out of the dark. Out of the shade. There's my hole. Alright, welcome back. Sunday morning. It's going to be a warm one today in the low 80s. Spring is definitely here. It's not continuously warm, but it's been a few weeks since we had a hard freeze. Alright. This is the brush line that's the closest to my house. It's about 35 feet away, but I'm always paranoid about wildfire risk. So as you can see, there's my future home. Sorry about the shakiness. There's Mount San Jose, and there's the Huachuca Mountains that way. I have a little bit of a cleared area here that has my weather station, and then a little border of rocks along here, and that's what keeps the desert at bay. But it's getting into wildfire season. There was a fire over here. Might have been an intentional fire, but it was in a valley and it looked pretty big. But the winds were favorable and it didn't get out of hand, it looks like. But I have some really dense brush right in here. It's this really thorny ass, bristly ass, dry ass, ugly ass plant. That's what I'm gonna start calling that, an ass plant. I got too much ass plant. So maybe from this angle you can see a little bit better. Right in here is where I've been clearing for the last 20-30 minutes. And I've pulled out piles of crap. I'll include photos of the crap. Glass, bottles, car parts, shock absorbers, exhaust systems, sheet metal, glass, plastic, you name it, man. It's kind of hidden where all this is grown and really dense. So I just cleared like an 8x8 circle right here to give me a little bit of inroads, because I need to be able to get back into some of all this. I want to thin it for fire purposes. I want to thin it to be able to see the ground for rattlesnake protection. I want to thin it so I can see the junk and crap that still needs to be hauled out. And it's just hidden under these bushes, and it's way too much, way too close to my house. So it's a nice early morning, about 8 a.m., 8:30. I've been out here for an hour, hacking away with a pickaxe and tugging with my hands and hauling out stuff like this. And I'm gonna keep going on it. I'll include some before and after pics. It's not super exciting to film or watch for you, but you know, it's absolutely necessary. Man, there's all kinds of crap back in there. And there's still one tire out there that I haven't pulled out because it's growing around a bush, and it'll be a lot of work. I either have to kill the bush to get to the tire because the bush is growing through the center of the tire. But I think because my goal is to thin all this out, it's time to take out that bush and take out that tire and then call it a morning, because it's pretty exhausting and I haven't had any breakfast yet. And I do want to work on the solar array, which yesterday I got an additional, the second outside down support put on there. I don't know if you guys can see that at all. Zoom a little. So I did work on that, but I want to keep going on that and make more framing progress. And sorry about the shakiness. I'm so hungry and holding my arms out, my pulse is making my hands completely shake the camera. All right, I'm getting back to work. Are we rolling? All right, I've pulled out in the last, I've been going now for about 3 hours, pulling brush out of my land. Here's a pile, here's a big old pile. So I'm just trying to thin it all out. It was chaos. This was just dense with this kind of bush, and it's just spiky, nasty, bone dry. But this was easily twice as much in here, and I've thinned it out all over here, a big path over here, a path over here, and a little bit right in here next to my weather station. So there's no real method to my madness other than using my mini chainsaw, this little thing. Using this thing and the pickaxe and my rake and gloves and a hat and hauling it out of here. I've probably done about 300 trips of dragging spiky ass, thorny ass brambles behind me over to these piles. May not look like it, but yeah, it's some crazy hard work. And I got to go get my cowboy hat because my ears, and I put on sunscreen, my junk is burning now. Great weather for it though. It's a little overcast. The wind's a comfortable temperature. There's a nice breeze. It's dry, even though it's only like 16% humidity, but I'm still sweating like a sow. So I'm making progress, and this wasn't on my list to do today, but I'm doing it anyway, apparently, because, you know, this is close to my house. This is the corner of my house right here, and we're talking just right there. And again, even though there's a 35, 40 foot difference, or distance rather, I don't want a fire come up near that edge of the brush line, and I don't want to be feeling the heat on my face when I'm standing here at the corner of my house. That shit needs to move back. You know, in a super high wind, it doesn't matter how much you do, fire can spread, but in a moderate wind, thinning out the brush and removing all that fuel can slow it down or stop it. So even though it's absolutely exhausting hot work as a homeowner, it's critically necessary and vital to get rid of dry fuel, you know, that's been building up for 50 years. So I'm gonna have to pass out soon though. cowboy. Ow, fuck. Ow. Oh, me. Brutal. Ow. Lay down. Hey, fucking tripod. Jesus. Ay, ay, ay. It's crazy. Cut. Okay, so that's like 2 bushes from right in there. You can see how close my tiny house and my trailer are. So important to clear this out. Got a big thicket right here that's dense. Just beyond it is a mini creek, like right there. So I just want to tame this and beat it back a little bit till clear out up to that mini creek, which is right there. So stuff's been here for a long time, and it's going to look barren after I get it out of here, but it's necessary. There's a whole lot right in here too that I need to thin out. Basically all of this needs to be a cleared out area. Okay, the treasure hunt continues. I just cut away one big branch. Look at that. The hell is that thing? Sorry, the shadow's on it. Looks like a very heavy steel ring of some sort. Probably a wheel. Probably the wheel off of a car where the bush just 50 years ago started growing up through it. Maybe not even that long ago. 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But it's pretty rusted. So anyway, I'm going to keep clearing right in here and just see what else turns up. A lot of stuff in here. Bit of a treasure hunt for sure.